What is going on? I'm Zmot. There was an update this morning, as you probably noticed, because you were forced to update, unless, of course, your phone auto-updated. Regardless, I'm going to talk about what is in that update, and also talk a little bit about Season 66, which is now done, and finally talk about the Boom Pass. So first and foremost, the Boom Pass. If you have not gotten all the way to the ghost ship yet, you need to do that as soon as you possibly can, because you've only got 5 days, 13 hours, yada yada yada. Now, speaking of that ghost ship, the position of the turrets has been fixed. That is one of the small details. I don't know what that actually means. I did check it on the dev build, and the smoke comes out where the turret was, and everything looks perfect, but I don't know what that actually was the problem. So if you're experiencing problems with it, it's probably now fixed. They fixed this sidebar a little teeny tiny bit, made it a little bit better. They tweaked up this little helper details, made the text better, made it look better. I'm not sure if the tutorial guy was up hanging over the corner before, but bottom line, things have gotten better in that regard. Moving down the line, our wonderful friends, Laser Rangers, are now better underneath smoke. Don't really know what that was about. I've been using them a bunch and haven't noticed a problem. By the way, also do note that the, what is that thing called there? Remote hack is available. I do like that part of the off-season. Getting the remote hack right about now is fairly fantastic. We're going to flare these guys underneath smoke. We'll get a shock there and a shock there. And then Kavan will bring all sorts of good stuff, and let's remote hack the shock launcher just to speed things up a little bit. So Laser Rangers got a little teeny tiny bit better. Now, a bunch of you were complaining about Scorchers. I don't see anything in the notes for Scorchers, sadly, but they have added Life Leech for Scorchers, so maybe that's their temporary workaround. So, well, you're at it. Do check to make sure your tribes have been boosted. So, no Scorcher fix, but a bit of a Scorcher fix. Not sure why this lady's coming up. Feels like we're getting those for the first time in forever. Maybe they've added a new rule that says because they've added new text, you have to see it once. Not a big deal. Anyways, moving down the list, they have said that they fixed flares. I don't entirely know what that means. These things are a little bit vague, but wanted to pass them along to you. So if you've been seeing problems with flares, maybe they're fixed now. Finally, Rudy, who is not yet in our hero hut, they have fixed how he's working at the position of the warship's map edge, so a bunch of you were complaining about that. Love the fact that they're addressing problems quickly now. They have also said that the warship's leaderboard stuff has been fixed. I have no idea what that means. I'm hoping that means when you scroll the leaderboard, it's going to keep your place for finding bases. And finally, for the Mega Crab, which is not yet on our map, no shadow yet, there was a problem where if you threw a flare, any critters that jumped out of the vats would run to that flare, which would be a big problem at Halloween, because I assume we have two different kinds of critters. And so that, my friends, is all of the fixes that are in this update. Now, the cynical of you, which I am definitely a member, you are asking yourself, well, what new bugs does it bring? As always, do jump on to Boom Beach Discord and check the bug list. And if you have anything that you don't like, do throw it in there. Try and just double check, because every single time there's an update, someone jumps on there and they scream bloody murder and they're like, this never used to happen. And then we check all of the old videos from all of the boom tubers, and sure enough, that's how it always worked. So I've done the same thing. It's just, you try and find changes, you try and do things, and it just doesn't work always. So we are going to note, I almost destroyed my NPCs. Right about now, don't destroy your NPCs. Those are the easiest things to get all of your missions done. That is how I highly, highly recommend flying through these missions as fast and quickly as you possibly can. And now I'm going to show you a little bit of warships stuffs. So this is as high as I got my boss battle for 23, and then I failed and gave up and stopped playing. So one thing that I did not have is shocks. A couple of you said you need shocks to use Seekers, and I completely and utterly disagree, as did the results there, but just ran out of time. So unfortunately did not get Seekers until 5 p.m. on the final day, which definitely cost me a little bit. I recorded one whole battle. I figured I'd show you that of what I was doing, and it was the exact same as everyone else. 95% of people on the leaderboard, it feels like, were doing a strategy like this, and it's just send the buses out with the Rudy attack, and then hopefully maybe getting 1 or 2 engine rooms using Seekers. I managed to get 2 on this one without shocks, just by being completely and utterly lucky, and as a result, got a 251. And my only other time that broke a terrible, terrible losing streak that I figured was worth showing you was a 313. And this is not a Seeker hit. This is a Seeker with buses hit, and it looked something like this. Now, this base, their shock launchers were not well placed. Yes, they had a little bit of building damage, but let's be honest here, that's not going to stop Rudy, even with the damage amplifier. Like, there was people with 420% building damage or something ridiculous. Just Rudy rushing through all of this, and then the Seekers coming through the backside and just absolutely crushing things. So that was the end of that season, and I gotta say, it was fun until Rudy just died. I got pretty good at keeping him alive, but there was definitely some frustration involved. So curious to hear what you guys think about that. Also, do note that make sure that you use all of your sculptor slots while you've still got them. And speaking of Boom Pass, do consider subscribing for sneak peeks on not only the Boom Pass and what new skins might be coming, but also on Season 67 and the Mega Crab. So lots and lots of good stuff. This is partially the least fun part of Boom Beach because we're in that week gap. But during that week gap, as you've seen, we get updates, we get remote we get abilities, we get events, we get sneak peeks, so lots and lots of downtime, but for the Boom Tubers, there's a lot of work to be done at the same time. So gotta prepare all those sneaks, gotta think things through a teeny tiny bit, trying to figure out the best possible way to show sneak peeks and all the rest of the things, while playing the game, having fun, and keeping those operation attacks coming, finishing up the Boom Pass stuff. And I've told you guys this many times, but Laser Rangers are a great way to pass some time. Definitely losing a couple more troops there than I needed to, but we are getting some action on those missions bit by stinking little bit. What was that? 5 or 6 missions all at once, all fairly easily. And if I was smart, I would plan that ever so slightly better. I would add some Zukas maybe, or I guess I can deploy a mech and win. So that is good. We'll add 1 mech to our group, and deploy a Scorcher and win. We'll add a Scorcher to that, win with unique troops. We'll also get some things, so you can add all of these things and get way more missions if you just spend a little bit of time planning, and that would be a kind of a neat planner that would pop up if Boom Beach had an API where you could just drop in all your missions and it would say, do these to get your missions done in as little time as possible. Hint, hint, if you're one of those people out there who have the ability to do such things, please make that. That would be unbelievable. I'm not sure how many people would actually care, but I definitely would, because the faster you can get these missions done, the better. I guess I'm actually one of those people that could do that. Unfortunately, no API means a lot of manual effort, and sadly, I don't have a lot of that yesterday. I'm not going to touch on that. Sorry, there was bad stuff going on in life yesterday. Sad, tragic news, actually. So, anyways, I will touch. There was a bike accident in one of the local races that a lot of my friends were involved in. Yeah, on the weekend, and the woman passed away, and it's awful, awful news. So, if you're gonna ride a bike, make sure you put a light on it and wear visible clothing and all that stuff. All obvious stuff, but obvious things are not all that obvious at times. I'm not saying it was the biker's fault at all. It was not. Details not forthcoming yet. Anyways, I am going to end the video there. Lots and lots of things going on in the Boom Beach world, but that's all for me at the second. Do keep your eyes peeled, though. Like, share, subscribe, comment, code Zmot in the shop. I shall talk to you soon. Thanks for coming in. Peace.